Welcome. Give everybody a few minutes to get settled in. I'm on a few minutes early. I'll try to do that when I can. And this is Thursday morning Kung Fu Fit. And if you're just joining me for the first time, then I recommend that you go back at least to the first Kung Fu Fit video that's on the live section of my YouTube channel and revisit that. I don't want to repeat all the information every time. In the first few sessions, I'll repeat some key information about training and having a practice space. As you can see, I have a nice wide open space here. But just make sure your room and the area you're training in, that you don't have any trip hazards or anything that's unsafe. And also, just in case if you're under medical care or physical therapy, that kind of thing, make sure you check with your people before you participate in something that's more high intensity. And I'm already well stretched out and have had a nice morning meditation. But if you're just jumping in cold, we'll warm you up. I do have a lot of Qigong warm-up exercises on my YouTube channel under the Qigong, and then also I have various playlists. I think I'll need to uh, thin that out a little bit and concentrate some of those. But I also have one of our main Kung Fu warm-up stretches called crane stretches. I have an independent video just on that on my Kung Fu playlist on my YouTube channel. So give everybody another moment or two. We might as well find our space. Just kind of, make sure everything around you have nice open space. You might not be able to go as far in the directions that I might go, but we can always modify. And just as a reminder, you are your own highest authority. So no matter what I'm doing, what my body is doing at this time, always do what's right for you. And new movements, new exercises, you want to take slow and easy, work your way into it. And if you get feedback or a response from the body that's like, oh, well, not right now, pay heed to that. And don't continue exercising if you strain something, that kind of thing. You always want to take care of yourself and only participate in what feels right to you. So that's above all else, listen to your body wisdom and yourself on that. I think that kind of covers the basics. I also have an article on my website on onpathhealingarts.com, and that's an article on creating your training space. So there's some other tips on practice through video. I've spent a lot of time making this stuff repeatable and usable from this kind of medium, this video. So let's go ahead and get started. For all of our practices, we use a lot of deep breathing, and our four main areas of practice are Tai Chi, Qigong, Kung Fu, and meditation. And breathing is really a big part of all that, and all aspects of our being are involved, though some might focus on one aspect or the other. And Kung Fu will be focusing on fitness over learning how to fight, where combat training is a little different. And through video, we'll focus on mobility, flexibility, strength, and how to move your body and be in your body, and how to cultivate the self, how to be more fully present with your life experience. And I found in my 30 years or more that this really has helped me in all areas of my life, and I hope that it does the same for you. And just like we did yesterday with our meditation on Wednesdays at 11, and Tai Chi and Qigong on Tuesday mornings at 8 a.m., we always bookend our practice. So if our main practice is physical movement, then we practice some kind of stillness before and after. Likewise, if my main practice is stillness and relaxation meditation, then I bookend that with some kind of movement. So it's about creating balance in life. Can't always be doing and always can't not be doing. And then eventually we can blend those together. And so let's begin. Adjusting breath. Squeeze the breath out. Squeeze the belly. Fill from the belly up. Hold it full. Feel it in the body. Squeeze it out from the chest down into the belly. As if the hands are pressing the breath out of the body. All the way down to the earth. As if the hands are lifting the breath up. From the earth into the body. And release. Adjusting our breath, priming the pump, getting the system ready. Deep breath. Energizing. Exhale. The sound of relief. Relaxing. We can be both relaxed and activated simultaneously. Shaking the branches of the tree, and you might start slow and easy and deliberate. And as we move through our practice, if we're doing several repetitions and you can only do one or two or a few, then that's what you do. Anytime you need to have a seat or take a rest, that's what you do. If anytime we're doing something that doesn't feel good or right to your body at this time, skip it or modify it. Typically, higher and lighter you keep your stance, the easier it is on the body. The longer your step, the deeper your stretch, the more demand on your system. So we want to exercise patience, kindness, humility, and diligence. We want to exercise this idea that little by little becomes a lot. And clasping the hands behind the back, one into the other, lifting one heel off the ground at a time, and moving back and forth like walking in place, activating the body, stimulating the legs, lubricating the joints, increasing blood flow, and increasing energy. And it's not just a woo-woo energy, although we can relate to it in that way, the universal energy. But this is actual physical and chemical energy in your body. And all its variations and forms, especially through the myofascial network. Just take a moment to get the body ready. Warm up a little bit. Again, you might take it slow and easy, light and deliberate. You might feel good with what's happening and you might pick up the pace even. Typically, the faster I'm moving, the less my heels will come off the ground. And slow it down and relax. Just kind of warmed up a little bit, and now let's tune in. This is a centering affirmation, a way to bring ourselves into the present experience and moment. I am here. I am here, and they are here with me. I am here in this place. I am here in this body. I am here in this heart, with this mind, in this greater awareness. I am here in this moment, as I am now, in this experience. I am here with these intentions. And through humility, kindness, patience, and diligence, every day in every way, we are growing healthier, stronger, better, and wiser. Once again, adjusting breath. Exhale. Squeeze out the breath. Press it into the earth. Gather. Let it rise to the sky, and from the sky and the head down, squeeze it out. Squeeze the chest, squeeze the belly. Let your feet plant into the earth. Press into the earth. Gather. And release. More deep cleansing breath. Respiratory system, cardiovascular system activated. Get the body ready. Relax the arms, trunk twisting, and moving from the hips, the waist side to side. As the hips move, the shoulders follow. through the twisting and movement of the spine. If I exaggerate what's happening, I push from one foot, it leans me to the other side. I push from one foot, leans me to the other side. And instead of leaning to the side, I keep myself right down the center and let that push back from the earth travel as a spiral up through my legs, through my spine, and out to my arms. And always take new exercises slow and easy. So if slow and easy is where you're at, or your body isn't responding to the more vigorous version, then ease back or skip it. Always listen to that. You can always build up slow and easy. If you go too far too soon, you might end up on the road of a healing or recovery period, which is sometimes just the way it goes too. But we don't have to go that route. Yeah, just twisting side to side, letting the arms wrap around, and relax and release. Shake a leg, step in place. Anytime we're standing still and your body feels like it wants to sway side to side or rock back and forth or twist gently with the movements, that's also very good. I'm used to standing for long periods of time, so one of my favorite exercises. Open and close the hands. One all the way open, all the way closed. Tight fist, open fingers. And if you have arthritis or anything going on and the tendons or anything like that, keep it slow. And only go as fast as you can do it correctly. So sometimes we speed up, we end up skipping the full range of movement. I only want to go as fast as I can go, all the way open, all the way closed. Breathe into the belly. Breath is key to everything. If you've ever done any kind of sparring, you get winded pretty fast. So if you're not managing your breath, likewise in stressful moments, as the breath moves up into the chest, becomes rapid, we can slow it down and bring it into the belly and actually become more centered in the moment. So we can get to the eye of the storm. Even though the storm is still raging, I can find this spot where I can be in harmony. I can have more wisdom and harmony in my choices. All the way open, all the way closed, palms down, breathe into the belly. Let me know when you start feeling it in your arms. Notice I'm bouncing a little bit. This is something I like to do. All the way open, all the way closed, only as fast as I can. Palms up, breathe into the belly. And if you're just getting started and you need to rest your arms, by all means, go for it. Arms out, palms forward. There's a balance between training and practice. So my training, I might choose to follow a method. I might choose to adhere to what's happening. And if I'm prepared enough, then I can rise to that occasion. But if I'm still building myself up, I might need to slow it down and take a slower pace. Palms down, breathe into the belly. We'll only go halfway today. One more posture, palms up, breathe. Gather. And let it go. 2. And 3. And Uding, tuning inward, looking inside. One of those moments of pause, even if I'm busy all day long. I might find 30 seconds, a minute here and there to slow down my breath, to tune in. How am I doing with what's happening? I don't want to wait till the end of the day or the end of the week or the month or the year or the event before I check in with how I'm doing with things. Feel my breath, my heart, my body. Allow myself to become aware of how I'm really feeling about things. What's really going on inside there. And shake it out. Typically we're standing in a natural stance, feet about hip width apart. Let's go ahead and do a little dream walking for a moment. And work the shoulders a little bit, just a little flip floppy. Let's loosen back up. Like as if the arms and shoulders were pistons, so that the hands not pressing hard, but rest on the side. Lift the shoulders and back, rolling. I'm gonna let my stance press a little bit, roll the shoulders forward, up and back and down. Let my whole body get into it. A lot of times we isolate things and separate things, and there's purpose for that at times. But the more I include my full body with what's happening, rolling back and up and forward, the more I engage my full body, my full mind, my breath, sensations, everything involved in one body. I have parts. Everybody, everything is working together. And shake it out. Shake a leg. Step in place. Hands on the hips. Step side to side. Just once again, continuing to activate the body and test our range of movement. How far can I go? If I get feedback of pain or tension, something doesn't want to give just yet, then listen to that. We want to find that sweet spot of growth where we're not doing too little, though sometimes it's time to yield and rest and heal and be more yin, more about the calmness. And there's times where we're really tip top and we really go for it and we give it our all and we have all the energy in the world supporting us. We want to find that sweet spot where I'm a little bit beyond what is comfortable right now, a little bit beyond, but not too far beyond. Not unless I have a reason at the time, unless my body needs me to be more in the nurturing and self-care mode. I don't want to do too little, be under-challenged. Find that sweet spot. Bring it to the center and relax. Just like we did with trunk twisting, where I was focusing on pushing my foot from side to side. And again, this will translate into technique over time, but we're working our way up. So some of the actions that we're working on is about how to get the body coordinated as one, so that as I throw my technique, it's not just the muscles in my upper body and my arm, it's my full body. And not just the full body, but it's the connection I have to the earth or the pull of gravity, right? So there's all kinds of ways that we can generate power. And in our practice, we want to do no harm. We seek to do no harm. So the idea here, the paradox is that in training in self-defense, we become more self-confident and we exude an energy that does not invite predators and those kinds of things. So the more that we become empowered, the less likely we're actually going to need to use it, and we preserve life. So we would seek to do as little harm as necessary to take care of a situation. But in the event that I'm called to, I'm not best or better than anybody else on the planet, but I might be able to handle myself in that moment and at least take care of the situation. So again, now instead of pushing myself to the side and then honing that into the center of my body, now I'm going to bend the knee and let the hips sway side to side as if you're taking a walk. All right, I almost busted out into a Brady Bunch song, but I'm going to stick that song in your head. Or maybe, nah. All right, we'll skip it. You might know that song. It might be in your head already. So I'm going to twist side to side and let my hips and shoulders move. Another way that we generate power is through the twist, through torque. And I just let my arms swing naturally instead of actually taking a step. Just kind of, and I have this little bit of slight upward and downward movement. I'm pushing off the earth. And aside from maybe initially getting my arms in place, I'm allowing momentum move my arms for me. My arms are very relaxed. And if I suddenly stop, my arms just flip flop till they run out of energy. Twist. Be mindful, and you might be more, a little lower, easier, slower. And then if my arms come all the way up, I want to turn my front palm up and my back palm down. Get an external rotation in the front arm, internal rotation in the back arm. And just listen to your body and take your time. Using this twist and this bend in my knees, turning of my hips to move my arms. And let it go. And shake it out. So this idea of relaxation while we're in action is that we are in our state of readiness, like a rubber band, just slightly stretched, so it has some flexibility, elasticity to it, but it's not stretched so far that it snaps, and it's not so loose that it just flip-flops. So I want to find that state where I'm good and ready to move, but I'm not bracing, I'm not squeezing my muscles unless I actually activate my muscles to do something that they need to do. So I want to stay nice and relaxed, and that lets the blood flow, the joints open, and all kinds of good stuff. So hopefully we're not putting too much out there for you right now. As always, take what's for you, let go what's not. If it doesn't stick to you, don't worry about it. It'll come around. So one of my favorite Kung Fu warm-ups, Kung Fu stretching. Think about, crane stretching. Think about a graceful bird, large graceful bird. And adjusting breath. Exhale. Gather the breath. And release. You can always stay right where you are and keep it high and light, or open up. Toes out, breath in. Heels out, breath out. That might be far enough for you. Maybe you stay right there, or maybe just a little bit further, but not too much, not overly wide. Gather and release. Reach out to the side, deep breath in. Be mindful of your balance in your spine and gently arc back. Exhale. The breath. Release. Natural breath. Breathe and out to the belly. Only go as far back as you can. And then sit. Let the elbows and head and everything come forward, upright. Straighten up. Even though my arms and my legs are straight, I haven't locked my joints into place. There's a very gentle softness to my joints. And bend at the waist and rotate in the hips. And you might not be able to reach all the way to the ground, or you have to stay high and light, and you might just support yourself on your thighs or your knees. You might find once you're down here, you can go a little wider. Just breathe into the belly and stretch. Just like with our working out, we want to find that sweet spot that's a little bit beyond where we're at, but not so far that we harm ourselves. This is the long journey. We allow the change. We don't force the change. And then sit. Stay here for a moment and maybe work a little bit back and forth, rocking forward onto the toes and back onto the heels. And if you're in a higher posture, you can support yourself almost like you're in a huddle, right? And if you find your feet are too far apart, bring them in. And if you find your shoes are slipping, or your feet are slipping, then maybe change your shoes or skip this one and get down here and work it out a little bit. And then walk the hands up to the thighs one at a time. If they're not, they're all ready. And up. Crane stretching. I'm going to reach across and under. I'm going to shift my weight. My back toe turns in. My front toe turns out. I'm in a nice long stance. I'm ready for that. but I could also be higher and lighter and closer. Right? The longer I step, the more strain on my joints, the more activation of my muscles. And I want to test that back foot. I can bend my knee. If my toes pointed towards the screen and I'm on the side of my hip, knee, and ankle joints, and that is not good. Maybe that's too far. Bring it in a little bit. I want to be able to get onto that knee like I'm going into a lunge. And open up. My front knee doesn't go past my big toe. If I want a deeper, longer stretch, I need to step further. Breathe into the belly. You'll find some of these movements. Everything's fairly universal. You might see some aspects of yoga where we're gearing towards mobility and flexibility. And sit back. This front arm's going to come across the face. Other hand's going to come under. As I bring my weight off my front leg, my toe turns in a little bit. And now I'm going to let my toe turn out on the heel. So both toes are turned out a little bit, but I'm going to keep my shoulders orientated to my hips as I sit back, and that might be where you are. You sit back, maybe your legs are closer, higher, lighter. Only go down as deep as you can. Cross the arms and push off from the earth, lunging forward, and let those crane's wings open up. Lock and strike. Change direction. Push off the front leg. Toe turns in. I protect my face and neck. My front toe turns out. If I find I'm a little bit too long in my stance, I can make the adjustment. Now with my front arm towards the opposite back hip, my back arm is up near the face and shoulder, and now I can use my body to open up, block, and strike. I could use any kind of postures, my hands, fists, right now, open palms. Front palm is turned up, back palm is turned down. My knee is not going past my big toe. I can go there, and sometimes my movement requires it, but I don't want to do that so many times that I prematurely wear out my joints. In our practice, we're towards longevity. I want to be effective, but I also want to have long-term use of my body. As I sit back, anything's coming up my face, I clear it out of the way. I adjust my feet, both toes are turned out. And maybe something's coming up my head, so I get away from it. And if I can, as I sit back, I might sit back and press down, only as far as I can. Cross the arms and lunge forward. Bring it to the center. This is a horse stance. Our weight's 50-50. I'm fairly wide, but not so wide that it's hard for me to move. Right? You might be narrow, you might even be in a chair. That's okay. Drop the elbows, protect my sides. Drop my arms, protect my lower body and groin, and lower leg. Winding up the hands, turn the palms forward. Lock, match with the palms, press down. Match with the back of the hands. Swing the fingertips down towards the ground, towards the groin, belly, chest, head. Open up and rise into a high horse. And I'm going to bring my hands into a fist, and my fist to the side of my hip, into my lower chamber. And there's different variations of that, but right now we're in training, so we're going to pull the arm back to activate and create kinetic energy in the arms. And just in case you don't know how to make a fist, wrap the fingertips into the palms, leave the thumbs open, and lastly, tuck the thumbs around. And one more time, crane stretches. Exhale, inhale, lift. Exhale, arc back, be mindful. Relax the breath. We can continue through the whole set with controlled breathing, but for now, just breathe at your own pace. And sit. Hands come up. Reach up. Bend at the waist and hips. Maybe adjust your legs a little bit. Only stretch as deep as you can. You might walk your hands over to one side. You might only be on the knee, the shin. You might not be able to reach the floor, that's okay. Walk it to the other side. There's a basic set and then all kinds of additional things we could do. I want to be able to move my hips a little bit. And squat, sit. Walk the hands up to the thighs, using your arms on your back to press yourself up. And crane stretches. As I press, my back toe comes in with me, my front toe turns out, and as that's happening, I open up. So my forward leg is out in front, and my arm that's out is the same side. It's probably your left. This is my right. Right palm is up, or the front palm is up. Back palm is down. And I want to test. Can I, I was a little bit long there. It's good for a stretch, but I also want to be good for mobility. So I should be able to go into a lunge. My toes still turn towards the screen or behind me. Then I'm on the side of my joints. I want to make that adjustment. And now, evade, sit back. Clear anything that's coming at me and clear and maybe drop down. Only as deep as I can. Breathe into the belly. Cross the arms and lunge forward. Change direction. Protect the face and neck. Shift the weight. Toe turns in. I chamber what's going to become my forward arm. Check mobility. I can work that back leg. And then open up. Press into the front knee, but not past the big toe. Breathe into the belly. So I could repeat this movement if I had, a couple sticks or weapons in my hands. My arms would travel parallel of each other. I could use fists, block the face, and then open up and hit. Something's coming out my head. I evaded. As I evaded, I adjust my toes, turned out a little bit to open up my groin and hip. And if I can, and maybe I need to, drop under it. Low bow drawing stance, lion leg stance. Cross the arms, and then once I've evaded, boom, and go right back into it. Bring it to the center. Elbows protect the sides, arms protect the lower body. Wind up the hands, protecting the palms. Palms protecting the chest and groin. Here I can speak. Wind up the hands up. Fingertips pointing towards the belly, towards the throat, head, open up. Roll the fingertips into the palms, thumbs wrap around, and rise into a high horse. Breathe into the belly. I'm going to bring my legs in a little bit. It's nice for the stretch, but now moving into outside whip of the knees. You hold your hands in a fist or your palms or other postures of the hands, open praying mantis hand. I'm going to get myself to the center here. This is a prelude to knee strikes and to whipping kicks or crescent kicks. So now I'm going to bring my leg in from the side. And I'm going to come from the inside and move out. Lift the knee, like there's a little wall there. I'm going to step over. I want to get both of my feet on the sides of the wall and then come back down. Bring my feet together, come up and over the wall, and come back down. I try not to fall. I try to control my step. If I'm going to use gravity and fall, I want to control that. I want to make sure that's what I'm up to and what I need to do. Come in, up and over and down. Come in, up and over and down. So I come in, moving from the inside of my body outward, an outside whip. And again, later on, this becomes a knee strike and also could become a crescent kick. But for now, let's keep it to the legs, the knees. Get that knee up as high as you can and down. Notice I'm flexing my foot. My toe is pointed up. So I can clear my toes and my heel up over that wall and back down. And on my count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only do as many as you can. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inside whip. I'm coming from the outside, moving in. So now my legs are already on both sides of that wall. You want to shake out your arms a little bit. Might make an adjustment for your body, especially if this is new. Maybe you need to bring your legs in for a second and shake it out. Always free to make the adjustment in your own body. Move out into a wide stance once again. Arms up, or you could hold your arms lower, around the hips even. There's just extra training for the arms right here. So I'm coming from the outside in. I'm already have both legs on the side of the wall, and I want to come up and over it. I'm going to get my foot up, my knee up, come over it, down. I don't want to fall, though I can if I need to. If I lose balance, I can recover. That's okay. Now I want to come up, over, and down. Inside whip. So I'm coming from the outside and coming in towards my center. In towards my body. Come up, over, down, and out. So this is going to help with balance and coordination, core strength. Improve your mobility. And on the whole, when we talk about self-defense, most of the time in this age, it's not hand-to-hand combat. Although for some, it could mean, there's battles ahead. We're already in that state. But for most of us, it's navigating life, navigating the environment. So I automatically increase my level of self-defense just by being able to move my body better. Self-preservation, just by moving my body better. Just like learning certain skills or games like chess can increase your intelligence. So I'm increasing my body intelligence. And we've done quite a few of these. And again, this will become a knee or an inside whip. But for now, keep the knees. On my count, only as many as you can do. And starting on this side. And 1, 2, something's coming at me, whip, clear it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And shake it out. Breathe into the belly. Move back a little bit. And what we're going to be doing is a similar stance that we had just practiced. We're going to practice the lunge. And I'll give you a front view and a side view to this. This is an opening move from a fighting form, 7 circles fighting form. And this is also based on a Shaolin form. And we bring the fist into the palm, and bow, bend the knees. First thing I do, I lower my center of gravity, and I turn one toe out. And I'm not going to turn it all the way out to a right angle, 90 degrees. I'm going to go to a 45-degree angle. It gives me good positioning for my foot. I'm going to bring my fists to my hips, and I'm going to step out like I'm stepping onto a balance beam. Bend my forward knee, but not past my big toe. The longer I step, right, the more range I have. I want to be sure that I could actually move from there. I want to go so far forward that I can't move. And punch out to the front. Set my weight back. Come back to the beginning. I'm going to go to the other side. Sink the weight, lower the center of gravity. Turn the toe. So my hips rotate about 45 degrees. Turns my toe. I don't want to go too far at a right angle. That's going to put me in a weird position for my back leg. Take the strength out of my posture. Foot's at a diagonal. My hands Turn the fists at the hips in the low chamber. And then I step forward onto the balance beam. My weight's still back. My leg is still straight. And then as I press into that forward leg, I launch my fist forward and back. And return. Sit back. Always controlling my body. So you can continue moving forward and back, or you might have room moving to the sides. Going to the other side. Sink the weight. My hands, my fists are chambered. I've turned out to a diagonal. You press even more. Imagine like a cat. So this is from tiger style. Think about a cat getting ready to pounce, stalking its prey, finds this opening and goes for it. I step and then I use my whole body, but my back arm, back foot anchors me back a little bit. So I'm not overdoing it. And then I recover myself. I sit back and bring it back together. Go to the other side, bend the knees, fists in the chamber, turn the toe to a diagonal. I can even look down. My foot look at about 35 to 55 degrees, whatever's comfortable for you. Somewhere around 45 degrees or a diagonal. Step out onto the balance beam and lunge. So, do a side view. And then I sit back, bring my feet together. Call closing the door. I'll bring my feet together, both point to the direction I'm facing. Going to the other side, chamber the fists. My toe turns out to a diagonal. I bring my weight onto that leg. I'm in a light leg stance or a cat stance. It could even just come from here, another version of a cat stance, light leg stance. I step on the balance beam and I take all this power. I'm sitting on my back leg. I take all that power and push it forward and out to the fist. Sit back. Bring it together. Going to the other side. Sink the weight. Toe turns to a diagonal. Shift the weight. I'm in a light leg stance, but my feet are still close together. I could also come out to a light leg stance and point the toe, like dipping my toe in the pool. Step and lunge. Tiger lunges. Bring it into the belly and bring it back. And continue with the forward view. Arrange yourself accordingly. We're going to pick up the pace just a little bit. In our practice, we have several phases of training and practice, and much like Tai Chi, starts very slow. We do as well. Slow and accurate becomes fast and powerful. Fast and sloppy tends to stay fast and sloppy. So I want to give my body time to articulate, skeletal alignment, muscular control, the soft tissues, and I want to get everything in the nervous system and everything firing just right. So I slow it down so I can really feel what's happening, and then my body can have the time it needs to integrate and absorb it, to internalize it, to become muscle memory. So much like everything else, it's a lot of repetition. There's no hurry. Get to where we're going when we get there. Moving with me. Tiger lunges. Sink the weight, chamber the fists, open the door, toe turns out to a diagonal, 45 degrees, shift the weight. Now I have all my weight, maybe 90% on my back foot, and now I'm going to take that power of sitting on that back leg, the energy that's coming stored in my leg, and I'm going to step and push off the earth and transfer all that energy out to my fist. Lunging tiger. Shift the weight back, bring it together, and rise. Other side, chamber the fist, sink the weight, open the door, balance, lunge, return, center. And now moving side to side. Open the door, lunge and punch. Bring it back in. Sink the weight, chamber, open the door, shift the weight, step and lunge. Shift back, controlling my body weight. If I have trouble bringing my front foot towards me or returning to closed leg, then I'm stepping too far. So I only want to go as far as I can. I open and lunge, come back and close and sink. Open the door, step. And you might not be able to go this fast yet. That's okay. I'm about a medium pace right now. That might be a little too fast for you. Breathe in, tiger lunging. Breathe in and settle. Breathe in, open up and lunge, exhale. Breathe in, return and center. Breathe in and sink. Open the door, balance and lunge. Return. Slow down the opening, chamber the fist, sink the weight, open the door, let the other foot come forward so I can balance on my back leg, and lunge and return. Slow down the opening, chamber the fist, sink the weight, open the door, shift the weight onto that foot that turned out so I have good balance. Now my front leg is ready to kick, step or move, and lunge and return. And shake it out. And breathe. Just let the body settle. Free to adjust your posture. Take a seat. Whatever you need to do. Just as we ready ourselves for training, for what we're up to at the moment, we also take time to conclude, to complete. Redeem. Tuning inward, looking inside. Taking a moment of stillness. Being aware of what's happening in the body. Now we give ourselves permission to take with us what we experienced today. Claim it for ourselves the way that suits us best. Allow that to serve us in our life, in our time of need, and when we set time to practice, that it may return to us so that we can deepen, strengthen our muscle memory, and all that's involved in this journey. And deep breath in and out. Beautiful. Sheshe, thank you. Till next time, peace and love.